There's a question that history rarely asks. When Europeans first sailed into the waters of Southeast Asia, who already ruled those seas, many people imagined scattered islands, isolated villages, and a world waiting to be discovered. But the truth is far more remarkable. Long before European empires crossed the oceans, the islands we now call the Philippines were part of one of the greatest maritime worlds on Earth. These waters were not empty. They were highways. Every tide carried merchants, warriors, diplomats, craftsmen, and explorers. Kingdoms rose not because they controlled vast stretches of land, but because they mastered the sea itself. The ocean was their kingdom. This is the story of how ancient Filipinos became some of the greatest seafarers in history. Thousands of years ago, before maps gave these islands a single name, people were already crossing enormous distances over open water. Their ancestors belonged to the Austronesian expansion, one of humanity's greatest migrations. Using only the stars, the wind, ocean currents, and generations of knowledge passed from parent to child, they sailed across thousands of miles of open sea. There were no compasses, no engines, no modern charts, only extraordinary skill. These voyages connected islands separated by hundreds of kilometers and eventually linked communities stretching from Taiwan to Indonesia, from the Philippines to Madagascar, and across the vast Pacific. The sea was never an obstacle. It was the road that united them. As communities grew, so did their ships. Among the most remarkable were the Balangay, built with carefully fitted wooden planks secured by pegs and fiber lashings instead of iron nails. These vessels were flexible enough to withstand rough seas while carrying dozens of people and valuable cargo. Archaeologists discovered ancient Balangay boats preserved beneath the soil of Butuan, revealing craftsmanship that astonished modern researchers. These were not simple fishing boats. They were ocean-going vessels capable of connecting kingdoms across Southeast Asia. Even today, the word Barangay, the smallest political community in the Philippines, preserves a memory of those boats because entire settlements often formed around them. Their ships carried more than goods. They carried ideas, languages, traditions, and alliances. By the first millennium, Philippine ports had become important stops in regional trade. Chinese ceramics, Indian textiles, Arab perfumes, Southeast Asian spices, fine metals, forest products, pearls, gold, everything moved across these waters. Kingdoms such as Butuan became famous for their wealth. Chinese historical records describe diplomatic missions arriving from Philippine rulers centuries before European explorers reached these islands. These were not accidental encounters. They were formal relationships between organized states. Trade required trust. Trust required diplomacy. Diplomacy required governments capable of maintaining order. The sea created prosperity. Further north, Tondo emerged near Manila Bay. Its location placed it at one of the most valuable crossroads in the region. Ships arriving from China could exchange goods with merchants from neighboring islands before continuing across Southeast Asia. Its rulers understood that controlling trade often brought greater wealth than conquering territory. Every visiting vessel strengthened the kingdom's influence. Every successful voyage expanded its connections. Power flowed with the tides. Farther south, Cebu became another center of maritime commerce. Its harbor welcomed sailors from many cultures. Merchants did not simply exchange products. They exchanged languages, religions, technology, ideas. Every arriving ship transformed the islands a little more. Long before globalization became a modern word, these ports were already connected to an international world. Then there was Butuan. Gold seemed to flow through every corner of the kingdom. Its rivers provided access to rich natural resources, while its ports welcomed foreign traders seeking luxury goods. Ancient Filipino goldsmiths developed techniques that produced jewelry of extraordinary beauty. Their craftsmanship reflected generations of skill, patience, and artistic excellence. The wealth of Butuan was never hidden. It announced itself to every visitor who entered its harbor. In the southern seas, another power rose, the Sultanate of Sulu. Its strength did not come from enormous armies marching across continents. Its strength came from controlling the sea lanes that linked the Philippines with Borneo and beyond. Merchants carrying pearls, sea products, spices, and luxury goods passed through its waters. The Sultanate became a center of commerce, diplomacy, and Islamic scholarship. Its influence reached far beyond its islands. Control of the sea meant control of opportunity. Navigation itself became an art. Experienced sailors studied stars whose positions shifted with the seasons. They recognized changes in waves invisible to inexperienced travelers. They watched birds to locate distant islands. Cloud formations revealed hidden land beyond the horizon. Even the color of the water told stories. Knowledge accumulated across countless generations until the ocean itself became a familiar landscape. Where outsiders saw endless water, Filipino navigators saw signs pointing the way home. Life depended upon cooperation. Fishing fleets shared knowledge. Communities repaired boats together. Harbors welcomed visiting merchants who brought news from distant kingdoms. The sea connected families separated by hundreds of kilometers. It carried celebrations. It carried marriages. It carried diplomacy. It carried war. Every voyage reshaped history. Then, during the 16th century, unfamiliar ships appeared on the horizon. Their sails looked different. Their weapons sounded different. Their ambitions were different. Europe had arrived. Yet these newcomers did not enter empty waters. They entered an ancient maritime world that had flourished for centuries. They encountered experienced navigators, organized kingdoms, established trade routes, and societies whose prosperity had already been built upon the sea. The oceans of the Philippines had long belonged to skilled sailors who understood every current and every season. History often remembers the arrival of Europeans as the beginning of the story. It was not. It was the beginning of a new chapter. The story itself had already been unfolding for thousands of years. Every ancient harbor, every surviving Balangay, every piece of gold uncovered by archaeologists, every Chinese record mentioning Philippine rulers, every tradition preserved by coastal communities reminds us of the same truth. Before foreign empires reached these islands, ancient Filipinos had already mastered the sea. Their ships connected kingdoms. Their merchants connected civilizations. Their navigators crossed waters that many believed impossible to cross. Their legacy lives wherever the waves meet the shore. The ocean remembers, and so should we.